November 18th is Hubert Humphrey. What comes to mind?
Yes. Just a lot of heartfelt
You liked
emotion for our daughter was graduating from the University of Pennsylvania, and we went very happily to the graduation. And 3.5 hours later, after his 1.5-hour graduation speech, we left. But nonetheless, Hubert Humphrey, to me, was indeed the happy warrior, which is a name given to Al Smith, who I don't think that deserves it.
Who gives it? Who says the phrase "happy warrior" at the 28 convention? Franklin Roosevelt. A speech written for him, which was funny because Smith was no kind of happy warrior, but FDR was, and Hubert certainly was.
Play off of that, Hubert Humphrey, to you.
Oh, well, 1948. He leads the walkout of the, he prompts the walkout of the Dixiecrats. He tells the Democrats it's time to emerge from the shadow of states' rights and march into the sunshine of human rights.
Lost in '68.
One of the great moments in American political history that everybody, Republican or Democrat, should be proud of. That's what I think of Hubert Humphrey.
And he also
he's mayor of Minneapolis at that time. Sorry, Richard.
And he also transforms the vice presidency in a surprising way. Because he had such a miserable experience.
When was he vice president?
Under Lyndon Johnson, from 1965 through '69. And subsequently, of course, his fellow Minnesotan, Walter Mondale, was offered the job by Jimmy Carter. Mondale knew all about Humphrey's experience. And Mondale, in many ways, as a result of what he'd learned from Humphrey, is the first modern vice president. He had his own office in the West Wing, not across the street in the EOB. He was a deputy president. He wasn't fobbed off with the space program or reinventing government or whatever else presidents give their vice presidents to fill time.
Can I add one other thing about Hubert? I mean, we could talk about him the whole 90 minutes.
Appropriately. We know he would.
Yeah. The happy warrior thing with him was genuine. And Billy Graham told me this story, and if you ever hear Billy Graham imitating Hubert's sing-songy Minnesota voice, he's quite good actually. And he moved to Minneapolis, Billy does. He moves to Minnesota to set up his ministry because that's the state that has the cleanest government and the most transparency on nonprofits. So Billy goes there, and he's swimming in the Y, and as Billy Graham said, and when men swim in the all together, and suddenly he's there after his laps, he's sort of resting on the pool, and Hubert looms over him, also in the all together, so you can make the picture in your mind if you like, and reaches down and insists on shaking hands, and says, "Hello, I'm Billy Graham. I'm Hubert Humphrey. I'm running for mayor, and I'd really like your vote." And
Gene Baker, we need to go to Barry.